the team called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you here from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Monday, October 28th here. Let's get it right. I guess I'm a week behind here on the YouTube title. Sorry about that, fam, but I'll fix that here at the end of the show. I hope you all found me here. We don't run short of viewers here, but I want to thank everybody for coming in here. Where to start, where to begin, who knows? After a wild Sunday, getting ready for more action tonight here with the World Series and Monday Night Football with a pair of, long-standing great franchises trying to find their way with the Giants and the Steelers. But despite all the things that we have to talk about on this show and preview, many games today, NBA, NHL, and the aforementioned big games. We got to start here with real breaking news. All right, there's a lot to get to here, but within the last hour, big news from across the pond as Manchester United has canned manager Erik ten Hag. Maybe too late, too little, too late, or, well, it's early yet, but still for ten Hag, who's had, a lot of heat over the months here. It's finally official here, Manchester United. Ruud van Nistelrooy, former Netherlands great, Man U great, certainly a historic player who he had some comments after the game there following Sunday's 2-1 loss to West Ham, but maybe you saw it coming, saw through his words here. Ten Hag certainly could have lost his job last season after that mediocre finish, but when Manchester United had a pretty good run in the tournament, so I'm talking about the FA Cup final win there, they kind of extended him a little bit. Maybe that saved his job. Remember when they beat Man City, but that was not enough here. They look pretty bad. You're losing to West Ham, and Erik ten Hag finally is out as Manchester United manager, and Ruud van Nistelrooy will take over, but just as an interim head coach. Van Nistelrooy is a little bit higher up in the food chain over there at Man U. Man, I can remember when Man U was the team, not Man City. So he is still, more of an executive type. I think, who knows if Man U can do anything. Maybe Van Nistelrooy will stay as manager, but they are going to look for a permanent manager for Manchester United. So just a little bit of breaking news here in soccer. We follow soccer here on the Morning Steam, and that was definitely a big story just coming out within the last hour or so here, maybe even a little longer, but big news here to start the Morning Steam today. All right. Want to thank everyone for coming in, and we got an action-packed show here today. I'm watching a little first round tennis action. I kind of laid off the card here, let them get into the second round, and maybe I had to recover from yesterday, had to get some sleep after a wild weekend of college and pro football, and Well, what can we talk about from yesterday's action here? I know what we certainly want to talk about, but maybe we just cover the late action first before we get to the Washington Commanders here, the incredible game in Landover last night. But in case you missed it, late action Monday Night Football. Hopefully you're able to join me over there across the street at PSR. I had a pretty good night with the props over there. We rolled a 6-0 with those props last night, although I tried to go under in the second half. We were already, trying to roll the under in the game, but nonetheless, a wild game yesterday with the action there. Cowboys and the 49ers last night. 49ers take care of business. I whiffed big time on this game, but still, San Francisco gets the win. They led 27-10 late in the fourth quarter, but here come the Cowboys all the way back, almost anyway, and got to within a position within one score. Brock Purdy, strong performance. He ran for a touchdown as well. You had Dak, 2 interceptions, even though I hit the prop. Dak, 2 touchdown passes, but the Niners now 4-4. Dallas falls to 3-4, and just a bit of a crazy game last night, but it was a little bit one-sided. All right, guys. You guys saw the video. I was talking about it on the show last night as the video started to leak out, but we've all seen it now with the actions of Stevenson, of the Bears waving to the fans, even while his own fans in the end zone, the Bears fans that were there in the end zone at Washington, were pointing. The play has started, you fool. Pay attention. Well, he did pay attention. He got over there to where the ball was coming in, but you're a little late to the party. You don't do the old knock it down, as they say on TV, and tips it back to the easiest Hail Mary you're ever going to see. And that's why, in Washington, they have Hail in their nickname, and they got it done last night with an incredible play, an incredible Hail Mary last night to win the game over the Bears. 2 good, strong, improving teams. Jalen Daniels is like minus 500 to win the Rookie of the Year. He should be minus 5,000 right now, the way he led the team. Bought some time on that Hail Mary. He's got some nice pieces. The defense did a nice job. I don't think the Bears are super dynamic. Williams makes nice plays. I'm maybe, been on Williams' bandwagon a little bit. Maybe I've overrated him a little bit, but still does a nice job. But it was the incredible game there. The thing was, Williams was only 10 of 24, even though they were lauding him a little bit for a good performance to keep the Bears in that game, and kind of led them to the lead there after their offense was struggling. Got him the lead, got him the win basically until that play. And you got to put it on the player there. It feels like a little bit for not being in position. Talking about Stevenson on that last second play. Jaden Daniels. I'm still saying Jalen from the Jayhawks, but Daniels, 326 yards, a touchdown. They kicked 4 field goals in the game, but the 52-yard Hail Mary, which actually went like almost 70 yards, it felt like, and it came down at the 5-yard line. So Washington 6-2. I don't know if they'll hold off the Eagles, but they're probably going to the playoffs at this point. Bears still in okay position here, but they'll need to still win some games here in the second half of the season. So in NFL play last night, Eagles beat the Bengals 37-17. They'll look to chase down the Commanders here. Jalen Hurts, 236 yards and a tush push. Saquon, 100 yards. Burrow, 234, touchdown and interception. Philly 5-2. Bengals 2-5. Ravens lost to the Browns with Jameis Winston, part quarterback, part motivational speaker. 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. Browns with the win. Lamar Jackson, 289 yards, 2 TDs. in the loss. They're still 5-3. Cleveland's got a long way to go, but a nice win for Thomas's Browns there yesterday to go to 2-6. It feels like a little bit of life breathe into the Cleveland team yesterday. Still a long way to go. I'm not sold that Winston is the answer, but he's fun to watch and he's a gambler, so I like that. Lions crushed the Titans 52-14 behind Jahmyr Gibbs and Jared Goff. Lions moved to 6-1 here. Miami lost to Arizona 28-27. Last second field goal by Ryland again. Murray 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey McBride on. Did you guys know it was National Tight Ends Day yesterday? I guess I kind of got tired of it afterwards. Saying it every 5 minutes, but can't argue the results. More touchdowns for tight ends yesterday than any day ever in the history of the league. There's got to be a little bit of something to that. Maybe they said in the practices this week, hey, did you know it's tight ends week? Let's make sure we get some packages in for the tight ends. I guess the defense didn't realize when the offenses kept practicing tight end plays that there were going to be a lot of tight end action here this week. So Tua was back, 234 yards. It makes a whole difference to Miami. They're 2-5. There's no hope. But with Tua, it gives them a chance to win some games. Arizona's 4-4. Look out in that crazy division right now. Jets lost to the Patriots 25-22. Yeah, we had the Patriots as a premium, as a bet yesterday. I guess I can't say it here on the show and brag about it. But nonetheless, Drake May suffered a concussion. Jacoby Brissett came off the bench. It was Ramondre Stevenson with a game-winning touchdown. There, Aaron Rodgers, 233 yards and 2 TDs. Everybody was critical of Rodgers. I didn't think Rodgers had an awful game, quite frankly. I think the rest of the Jets kind of had a bad game. Aaron's going to take the heat on this one again. But why did the Jets go for a wide receiver? That's not what they needed. And then everything's all crazy right now. Both teams, 2-6. Atlanta over Tampa, 31-26 behind Cousins. 4 touchdowns and 3 takeaways by the defense. Baker Mayfield did what he could, but did have 2 interceptions, 330 yards there, and 3 touchdowns. The Falcons are 5-3. Maybe they can take away from the Bucks here, especially getting a key win on the road against the 3-time defending division champions, the Falcons. We had them as a premium pick yesterday. We went 5-3 with our premiums, including the aforementioned Lions there in the blowout. We had the over in the Ravens and the Browns game yesterday. Let's continue on with some of the action. The Packers over the Jags to improve to 2-6 behind Jordan Love, a couple hundred yards passing, and Josh Jacobs, 127 yards rushing. It was needed a field goal by Brandon McManus with 2 seconds left as Trevor Lawrence led him back 308 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, good to be a big week of college football. I'm going to cover a few more NFL games in just a moment, but we do have breaking steam right now in college football with Texas A&M playing a little bit better here. They're going under with South Carolina here. Steam coming in right now. Texas A&M and South Carolina under this Saturday, under 46.5. Some steam here. Also, Stanford and North Carolina State in the ACC. We've got steam coming in on the under here within the last few minutes here. Under 48 here this weekend. We'll have plenty of steam moves, I think, during the show here on college football. That's what the Sharps do on Monday mornings around this time. So stay tuned for that. Texans over the Colts, 23-20. Hey, if I get tired during this show, I might just take a game off and sit it out and bring in the backup for one play because I'm too tired. So Anthony Richardson, I've tried to defend him here. I'm hoping he can improve, but with an attitude like that, I want to say attitude. He might be being honest, but you got to go through that a little bit. And look at his stats, though, too. They continue to kind of deteriorate. 175 yards with a touchdown, but an interception and a fumble. Texans win it. The defense won it really in this one. Stroud, 285 yards and a touchdown. But 5 sacks, 2 takeaways for the Texans defense. This is what's going to make the Texans really difficult moving forward. And Mixon, 100 yards rushing, that great touchdown run. So Bills over Seattle, 31-10. We had the Bills here yesterday. Let's see, what did we have them at? As a premium play with a convincing victory. Josh Allen looking every bit an MVP candidate, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook was the man with 111 yards rushing, and Khalil Shakir, 9 receptions, 107 yards. But Keon Coleman looks like a star also in the league. Geno, 212 yards in the rain. They said he doesn't like rain. Seattle, they don't like rain. They're in the wrong city. Bills look like they didn't mind the wet weather. They know what it's like to play in some conditions. Bills win. Denver smashes Carolina here. We had a premium pick winner on the Broncos to cover those double digits. Amazing. We laid double digits in a pair of games and won them both. But the Broncos yesterday, Bo Nix, 284 yards, 3 touchdowns. We stood by Bo Nix, myself, my man Dave in the chat, and the Broncos, 103 yards rushing as well. Defense is key for Denver. 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. They're 5-3, putting the heat on the Chiefs. But the Chiefs moved to 7-0 to beat the Raiders 27-7. Felt like 0. Mahomes, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce had to get involved in National Tight Ends Day. His first touchdown in quite a while there, actually. And how does Taylor Swift not come to Las Vegas to see Kelce on National Tight Ends Day? But nonetheless, the Chiefs roll again. We're taking them for granted at this point. Yeah, they're going to end up with an easy schedule playing the Raiders and the Chargers probably, in their 4 games here. But Chiefs roll. 5 sacks and a fumble recovery to outduel Uncle Rico. 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, but a big win there for the Chiefs. And tonight, it'll be Monday Night Football. We'll preview it. Russell Wilson against Daniel Jones. Pittsburgh, pretty good record coming in here after all the everything that's gone on. Pittsburgh will be here tonight, favored at home against the Giants, and we'll preview it here on the morning steam. Want to get over there and say hello to everyone. Hope we didn't miss any headlines. Other than that, we do have also tonight World Series. I think the big story there will be Shohei Ohtani and his shoulder here. He's going to probably get cleared to play. He's going to go through pregame workouts. If there are no setbacks, he'll be ready to go. It does have a partially dislocated shoulder. Doesn't affect his swinging. Just no head first slides. Shohei, you are a designated hitter. Just go ahead and take your shots up there. The TV ratings for Game 1 were the highest in 7 years. So Dodgers Yankees going to attract them here, but they've got to get Aaron Judge on track. Just a 150 batting average in the playoffs with 19 strikeouts in 40 plate appearances, and he's just 1 for 9. So other than that, here, let's say hello to some folks in the chat. We can talk about more as well. What a weekend, huh? And everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up and check out our programming here on YouTube. We're the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. So make sure you like and subscribe. Share the video. Make sure everyone's watching us and watching your picks here on Sports Money. Hello to Lando, Public Enemies here today. Robert McCoy. Please bear with my technical ambient noise there. Just a couple more days and I'm going to have a new computer here coming in. And we'll take care of that. But I got to have these notes, gang, on this shitty thing right here. So please just to bear with me. If you have to take a few days off from listening to me yell over it, please consider coming back here by Wednesday or Thursday, I hope. There's Dave. He's ready. He's fired up about his Broncos there. And let's see what else we got here. Who else is joining us in the chat? Nanya, hello. Commanders here. Yeah, right. Here's the other thing. How come people don't like the Commanders uniforms? I think they're some of the best uniforms in the NFL, especially those black jerseys. So people make fun of them because they the nameplate. I think it's the coolest thing about the Commanders uniforms. But I'm a uniform nerd, so I don't know why people don't like those uniforms. Nunya's here today. No MMA guy. No, it's gonna be. I think the thing says the 30th on the Amazon. So Amazon delivery. At least where I'm at, it's always pretty much right on. So might actually be Thursday by the time we get rid of the noise. MMA guy, my friend. All right. Thomas said Team Steam had the win yesterday. How about Team Steam with the winner with yesterday? The Chargers here. I didn't go with the I didn't think they could cover the number, but Team Steam had the Chargers here yesterday. So great job by Team Steam. And Gerardo, hello and good morning. We got a little bit of soccer action. Actually, most importantly, 2 games in Major League Soccer tonight, and the MLS playoffs. We got one, I believe, from Spain. Not a lot of Monday night fixtures here in international play. It'll be Bilbao and Mallorca. Pretty closely rated matchup here with Bilbao and Mallorca. Patriots smash, says Nate. See what else we got from the gang here. Chosen One says is on the Steelers. Lay some points here tonight with the Steel. Gonna lay up to 6 points now. This line has moved a good, I don't know, 2.5, 2 points since the basic opening number here. Up to 6 does seem a little bit dangerous even against these Giants. The Steelers are looking good. But the Giants, I don't know, they seem to be that team maybe a little bit when the chips are down, they'll end up finding a way to cover, it feels like. So Terrell there talking about Trevor Banks Stadium. R. Thompson's here. Hello. Ray Otachi, good morning. Nasty Nate victory lap here with Mahomes. Curtis Man, thank you, Curtis, for your support. Really appreciate you and being here in the chat today. Jermaine says, Judge, not a big game player here, it feels like. He's had his moments here in the postseason already. Oh my God. Today is National Chocolate Day. Well, sign me up. You had me at chocolate. All right. Thomas says Dodgers here, right where they want those Yankees today. It's going to be, I will say the Yankees appear to be the choice of handicappers here today, and we'll do a little preview of the World Series. But so far, while tickets are relatively split, handicappers are heavy here. I'm showing handicappers of almost 6-1, at least 5-1 on the Yankees here tonight. From what I've seen so far. Hello to Patrick. Nice to have you. Okay, you guys do like the uniforms. Okay, maybe I was maybe on my X feed, people were kind of, and we've seen those jerseys before. They're not new, but I just thought maybe because of the high profile, maybe because of the finish. I don't know. People were talking about those jerseys and they don't like them, but look, the Commanders are what they are. They're the Commanders. They're not going back, and maybe that's a good thing. You don't have Daniel Snyder, so maybe this is a chance for the Commanders to finally turn this franchise around. It feels like they're totally going in the right direction right now, but it was kind of ironic there. I don't know if you saw this right at the end of the game in the haze of the celebration. The man who, to me, looked quite frankly like a Native American and with a ponytail, a little bit darker skin, had the Redskins around his shirt still a little bit. That man felt pride. It felt like in the Redskins name, if you know what I mean. And Nunya, our Chargers yesterday. How about it? And I was bummer because I was on that show last week across the street on Monday night, and I had to suffer through that last-second victory and didn't really get to, do any celebrating of this one. But Chargers, obviously, a strong job against the Saints. Like I said, one of the first things we said on this show, on all the shows that I'm on, is the Chargers got a McConkey. And I think we're seeing an emerging star, obviously, in McConkey. The Chargers didn't have many weapons to start the season. They still don't, I guess, offensively, but McConkey has to be regarded as a hot rookie commodity here. And the Chargers, they were looking actually a little bit more breaking news from late last night, was in Jacksonville, where the Chargers were eyeing Christian Kirk as a possible receiver to add by trade. The Chargers looking at a couple other receivers here. Actually, they've really got to get a receiver, it feels like, in here this season if they're really going to try to salvage anything out of this season. They were thinking about maybe bring Mike Williams back. The Jets are obviously done with him. Maybe KJ Osborne, somebody like that. Christian Kirk was somebody they were eyeing, but Kirk is going to miss the remainder of the season. He has a broken collarbone here, so looks like he'll miss. I guess it might be a little bit worse than that. I guess a broken collarbone, you could make it back here by the end of the year. I don't think the Jaguars are going to playoffs or anything, but AM looks hello. And there was some other sports last night, some NBA action yesterday. I didn't like it, but I did have the Clippers last night as a premium play. I still went just 1 and 2. I let you down on the show yesterday, guys, with my picks. We did have an okay day in the premiums, especially in the NFL. NHL, NBA, not so much, but the show picks were not good from yours truly. We'll clean that up here, hopefully, today. I do send my best over there on the premiums. That's all I can say about it. M looks ready to go with the Dodgers. Thanks, everybody, for coming in here. Jermaine, that stat, how about that, everybody? And look at this, 4-32 now in prime time. And, what you have here, obviously, is this one was easy to figure out, right? New York is going to be on in prime time a lot, no matter what. Even if the teams aren't good, they're going to find spots. Usually in prime time games, it is selected before the season. Better teams usually, they sprinkle it around. You don't want the same teams every week. Thursday night, you get some of those other teams in there. But on primetime games, you're going to have a lot of New York. They're going to be playing good teams. If the teams are just down a little bit, this is going to happen. Elliot Jameson, thank you so much. And I am so happy you found. Imagine Elliot, a few of the other folks we've mentioned here in the recent days and weeks. We've been over here now with Sports Money for 8 weeks now, but I couldn't necessarily say on the other channel where we were going. It was a spontaneous decision. I'm not maybe the smartest guy around. I maybe left, in fact, the great proprietor of the channel, the network that I was on, not Tony, but the man, the big man who bought part of that network, reached out to me a little bit, said, you know what, Ramon, you made a big mistake leaving Tony, leaving that channel. Good luck to you. And I really appreciate and admire those guys over there. But they told me quite point blank in an email or in a text, you made a big mistake, Ramon. I don't think we did. Here we are, Elliot. We're over here on Sports Money. Look, I'll be honest. You can look at it right down here. We got 750 subscribers. But the show is getting viewed by at least half of them. My show getting viewed nearly as much as it was on that 45,000 subscriber channel. So credit to everybody here in the chat. It's not about me. It's about you guys. The whole audience followed me over here, Jameson. They found Elliot. They found me. I'm sorry you didn't, but I thank you now for being here. But I think what it shows here, it isn't necessarily about me. Yeah, they followed me over here to this channel, but it's the type of community, the type of programming that we're bringing to you here. So thank you so much, Elliot. Yeah, and I got some technical issues here over the next couple of days. We're taking care of those. All right. Thank you so much, brother. And I'm so happy and honored that you looked for me and found me over here, man. That is great. And Jermaine talking about what I was talking about there. in the chat with the New York teams. Hello to Andrew today. What is it, Andrew? Sports car. I saw Signs win in Mexico. He was a big favorite yesterday. We don't talk too much about motorsports here, but I do try to find the end of the race, tune in, follow the news. And I don't know if anybody was watching also with NASCAR. You got some big news there as well. Michael Jordan is on the cusp of possibly winning the the championship in NASCAR. So with his team there, so big win yesterday for Jordan's team, and they're going to be in contention. You know, Jordan's won one championship in on the road in Phoenix. He might win another one. All right, Terrell says Harbaugh's an attention whore. Harbaugh's my man, though. I'm a big-time Harbaugh guy. Justin, hello. We missed you last night, Justin, but thank you for saying hello. And we almost got Justin on the show last night. He's a little busy, but thank you so much, brother. Let's see what else we got here. That might be it. And no, here's the thing, Elliot. What I do is I cover high school football, and I think people thought I was like a step down or something, but I've actually done that as long as I've been handicapping. I'm an old-time reporter. In fact, I got my first job at 17, and I was editing a whole section at the age of 18. So I'm into that. All right, let's see what else here. And okay, that's it. That's it from the chat. So let me do my commercial here, and then we'll get into it a little bit. But I've got to do my commercial after some rough picks and some of these other sports. But we had some good picks yesterday, I thought, in the NFL anyway. So please check me out over at Winnable. This is where you're going to get my premium pick winners here at winnable.com. Over on that other channel, that other network, I used to charge $25, $35, $45 for a package of plays, 3 plays, 5 plays, 7 plays, and that was good business. Believe me, I miss being over there, but that's not what I'm about over here now. I'm just hawking my plays here on Winnable for just pennies on the dollar, it seems like, compared to that. Just 67 cents a day. If you want to sign up for $20, get 1 month's worth of plays, usually between 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 plays a day. On the weekends, even more. Just depends on how heavy the schedule is. I'm a high volume handicapper. You don't have to play them all, or you can play them all. But I do send my plays out. There's a free subscription as well with some of my smaller sports plays. Sometimes we send the big ones out there as well. Get signed up over at Winnable. You can click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, and that'll take you right to the site. Hopefully, you'll find me there, and you can sign up with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card. It's powered by Stripe, so it's a totally legit e-commerce platform, and you'll get my plays directly to your phone. You can subscribe and set your notifications on there as well. We've had some rave reviews, actually, from some of the subscribers on, some people have had a little technical issue, but obviously it works pretty good. We had some people say they really like the notifications when they have it on, when I send out the package, usually between 1 and 2 hours before the first game. I want to get the most solid line to you. I could sit here and cherry pick moving lines and give you steam all day long, but I'm trying to handicap the games when you get ready to bet. Most of our viewers are going to bet closer to game time. This is a casual follow, so please check me out over at Winnable. You can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those packages. If 67 cents is a little bit over your budget, you can get it down to about 50 cents a day when you go to Winnable and winnable.com/Ramon. You can also type in Winnable Ramon Scott into X, and you might find, or into Twitter. Into Google. What's that thing called? Google. So I think will be over my cold here by the time that computer arrives. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for listening to that. We'll get a few more comments and start the show. Thank you, everybody, for having a fun day here. PEF is here today. Thank you. Billy Eagle Flyer, am I lying? Am I lying? One thing I've noticed about Am I Lying? Tells the truth, no doubt about it. And that's going to do it for the discussion. Let's get to the previews today and start with the biggest game of the day. You know what it is. It's the World Series between... Well, Schmidt's going to have to go out there and pitch for both teams. Bueller? Let's mark it in there with Bueller. I might have been... I don't know what I was doing there. Bueller is going to be here pitching today for the Dodgers. There we go. All right, the Yankees favored here tonight, $1.45, 9 under 20. What are you taking for granted here? You got a problem with Walker Bueller? Oh, I know. Schmidt, pretty good pitcher here, certainly this season as well. He's done a nice job for the Yankees, but come on, $1.45, down 2-0. Yes, they're desperate. Yes, they need it. I'm showing handicappers are very, very strong on the Yankees here. Kind of hoping the Yankees can maybe extend the series just because it's so exciting, and it gives us night 2 of our sports equinox here. We're guaranteed at least 4 of them, I think, unless one of those other, I don't know if the baseball game will fall on a day when there's no, I would think we got 4 days at least of sports equinox here. The thing with Bueller, if you look on the surface, he is 1-7 this season with a 5.44 ERA, but I think we saw a little bit better Bueller here of late. And, his contributions to this team and franchise certainly earns him the right to get this start here in the World Series. We'll see what happens moving forward. I mentioned, earlier before the series about some of the injury woes right now that the Dodgers are having with Jack Flaherty and his hamstring tightness that saw his velocity drop. Evan Phillips could be activated if they needed, an injury replacement. But still, you have Walker Bueller here going here tonight following the win on Saturday by the Dodgers. Really didn't cover on it too much, but Soto hit a home run for the Yankees. But it was the Dodgers there with my man Tommy Edman, the home run, Teoscar Hernandez with a home run as well to follow up the big grand slam on Friday if you don't join us on the weekend show and all that. And, of course, the big news will be Shohei Ohtani and his shoulder. Looks good, though, here for Ohtani tonight that he should be able to make this lineup. It feels like here, as long as his shoulder holds up in some pregame activity here, he just shouldn't slide probably at this point. He might not be the best slider. He's no Trey Turner. Air Force and Army in a big game this weekend as Army tries to continue to roll in part of the, the Commanders Cup Series, Commanders Trophy Series. You think about Army and Navy always battling for it, but Air Force can win it too. They're just down this year. Total moving over right now, Air Force and Army here this weekend in a little bit more college football steam. All right, let's continue on here right now with the baseball preview. Take a look at these lineups here, expected lineups, and maybe the splits as well. Certainly against Bueller, the Yankees have a stacked lineup that they'll put out there, so that's got to be part of the consideration as well. I'm showing handicappers are pretty much overwhelming on the over here in this game. You see it at 9 under so far, and yeah, while the Grand Slam game didn't got exactly to 9 runs, Game 2 was only 4-2. So will it be a situation where the teams can get to 9 runs here in the Bronx? Should be a great matchup for Torres, Soto, Judge, Stanton. The whole crew really should be slotted pretty well, it feels like, here against... What did I say? Did I say something, Siri? I'm sorry about against Walker Bueller for the Dodgers here in their matchup against Schmidt. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Here we go. All right. Good matchup, certainly for Mookie, certainly for Teoscar, Kike as well, and the bottom of the lineup. But against Schmidt, he might hold some advantages here, or maybe it's probably just neutral against guys because he's kind of a reverse splits guy for the most part, Clark Schmidt. So those guys like Ohtani, like Freeman, like Tommy Edman, Max Muncy, maybe the matchup there for those guys is a little bit more neutral because of him being a little bit effective there against the other side of the plate. So take a look here at some of the numbers for these guys and how they match up, batter versus pitcher here. Let's see who has the good matchups here. The problem is for a guy here like Schmidt, he doesn't have a lot of history against these guys, but let's check out and take a look at some of the numbers for these guys. For the Yankees, Grisham has 2 home runs in 17 at-bats against Walker Buehler. Of course, he played for some other teams, played for the Padres and faced Buehler. Jazz Chisholm, he's got a 3 for 5 against Buehler. Shohei's 1 for 3 with a home run against Clark Schmidt. Some of the Yankees do have some rough numbers against Schmidt. Kike Hernandez, 1 for 7. Teoscar, 0 for 3. Juan Soto's just 2 for 10 against Walker Buehler with 3 strikeouts. All right, go ahead, fam. Let's see what you guys have in the chat on this one, and I think I'll make my pick. Enjoy the World Series tonight. I kind of hope we get a little more action, but I'm going to take the Los Angeles Dodgers here. Just can't pass on the price. I know the Yankees will have a great lineup here tonight against Buehler. Look, if you take Walker Buehler of the past, if you will, or a healthy Walker Buehler or a stronger Walker Buehler, maybe you might think he gives them more of a chance. But nonetheless, he's definitely had some issues here, it feels like, a little bit this season. So maybe the Yankees can find a way for these fans here. Elliot, we'll give Elliot our first pick here. Subhuman, hello. But he did say he's still on the fence. Thank you, Elliot, for taking the time to look, or however you found me. Maybe you just typed in Ramon. Maybe you're just looking for shows and you found it. Thank you so much, man. Philly Eagle Flyer there. Here's Justin. He wants the Yankees team total over. Thomas says, give me Dodgers run line and over, and their team total over as well. And that's right, Nunya. We're over here now, and you know what? I can make this work here. I do appreciate your support. We're, as Mikey says, we are viewer supported, so we appreciate any time you subscribe to the channel, any kind of super chats or anything like that. I think they're all turned on here as well. Remember, if you send any here while I'm on this, it goes to the channel. And Mikey is doing some incredible things with Sports Money Network and some of the other things we have in store. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we got some things. We're just not going to be sitting here, in the talking boxes all the time. We've got some other things planned. We're working together. Our team is working. I'm talking about Sub and Joe T, Jim. We've got Keith over here as well. And, of course, see here's some more comments. Fanatical Jim as well does an incredible job on the shows, man. Irish King says Ohtani will be good to go. Philly Eagle Flyer Yanks in 3. Robert McCormick will lay a run. Terrell, you got to work on that slide, right? Especially if you're going to go. At least he went head first. Andrew says go feet first. And, I don't know if you know that, hey, I have a pretty good, I'm going to get a video of me. I'm getting old now. I don't know if I can go out there and do it like I did, but I got some videos, probably 5 or 10 years old. I'm going to bring one up tomorrow, the World Series game, since it might be the last game. I have a graceful pop-up slide that is major league quality. I promise you, and I'm going to show it to you tomorrow, so you better tune into the show. Anybody who see, I sent that instructional video on some of my defense. All right. Here we go. Robert says, I kind of like under first 5. Ray Otachi, team total over. Elliott's going to go with the Dodgers. M looks, Dodgers. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. That really shows. Really, that hits me good. Hits me good. Okay, everybody knows I'm soft. Here we go. Irish King, LA money line. No Yankees love. Is it a consent? There were some Yankees in there. I don't know if this is consensus. Thomas might be. He's putting. I don't know, Thomas. Do you use the old the old school? Like this, Thomas. I don't know if he keeps track in his mind or if he'd be like me and just going old school, right? You could do the little. Is that how we got it for the tallies? But I don't know. It's pretty close. Feels like maybe 2-to-1 ratio here, but I will take the Dodgers as my play here on the morning's team. I'm on the Dodgers. I already said beginning to win the World Series. I took them in at the beginning of the series at $1.35. I said I would be objective. If I thought the Yankees were in the proper team, I'd pick against that pick. You could still win your series play, even if they lose. For me, I think it's that $1.45 right there that has me on the Dodgers, right? This is the World Series, a standard line, right? If you took two teams, A and B, matched them up with exactly the same stats, and I'm not sure the Yankees are any better than the Dodgers. Do you, even with Clark Schmidt? Maybe that's where the advantage lies, is in the starting pitching and the perception of Buehler and his poor record. But if you just took Team A, Team B World Series, the two best teams, and maybe these are the two best teams this season, why would it be $1.45? It should be $1.20, right? Do you think $1.20 is kind of the standard price of a blank canvas, generic Team A, generic Team B, everything equal, and you're at home? Home, put the $1.20 on the home team because they're at home, and now you're looking at $1.45. So for me, that just says I have to take the Dodgers here, just on this price play as a dog, and I'm going to take him as my free play here. Like I said, the free play is not, just some token play. I want to get them all right. Yesterday, the plays were pretty bad, so I'll go with the Dodgers here in this one. All right. Take a look here now. I saw Echeverry here win a match over Zizhen Zhang there in a little tennis action, just finishing up. I think it might have been 6-4, 6-4 here. Might have missed the score. All right, that's it for the World Series. You guys are done putting in plays, so appreciate that. Let's move on to the National Football League tonight and get into it here with the G-Men on the road. That line, what is this? What is Ramon? It looks like a bad soccer line there. What's going on here? Okay, the Steelers, we know, are a 6-point favorite. Boy, I always thought, maybe I could just get a job doing the graphics at ESPN. They always mess up the graphics, and I'm so good at the graphics, but maybe I'm not. All right, here we go. -6, and the total currently at 37 or so. Let's see, we got the latest line. Man, some of the sharp books here are down to 36.5 here at this point. But many of the books here at 36.5 with the Giants and the Steelers in this one. We'll talk about some personnel too here. Felt like I have a pretty good roll right now on some of the props. I know I don't give a lot of props here. It's early. There's still some props out on the big games, but mostly I don't have as much time to look at the props and the prices too. I look at the prices, but I don't make any plays on here. But you can catch me on some of those shows across the street, giving out prop plays. That's what I like to do. So for the Giants and the Steelers tonight, the Steelers here favored by 6.5. And I like the matchup here for Russell Wilson. It's kind of hard to back Russell Wilson, but the prices will be appropriate here. And for Pickens, look, Pickens is up and down. We know that, right? We know he's inconsistent still, the young star, but it does seem like he's starting to heat up. It felt like he had a rapport out there with Wilson. In the last game, he had his best game of the season with 5 receptions for 111 yards. He was targeted 9 times. So I'm probably looking for George Pickens tonight as one of my top guys. and Russell Wilson, it feels like, as well. Let me get one steam move in here because we got another one coming in. In fact, it's on the first game on the board, and I'm not talking on Saturday. This one is getting slammed, people. New Mexico State and Florida International. We saw Florida International last week, right? In the weekday game. This one is going to go under 45 right now with the steam. It opened as high as 47.5 yesterday when those lines kind of came out. And now we're seeing this one headed south of 45 here on some widely reported steam. New Mexico State and Florida International for Thursday. They're also moving on New Mexico right now, and that's going to be solid here, it looks like. New Mexico. I'm sorry. New Mexico. A little bit confusion there on my part. They're also steam just coming in right now on through New Mexico Lobos. So to be clear, New Mexico State, Florida International, steam here under right now on that play at 45. I'm showing 43 already at Bovada. Some hot steam there, but also in addition to some steam came in here on the New Mexico Lobos in their game. Just kind of caught me off guard there, but New Mexico taking some steam here as well for this weekend in their matchup against Wyoming, and that one looks really good. Wow, we'll have to take a look into that. All right, continue on here with the G-Men and the Steelers here tonight. We're looking at some of the players that I like. In fact, for the Steelers, that's about all I'm going to be on here at -6 right now. I mean, if I may have some more later if I make an appearance there. For the Giants, I'm worried about Daniel Jones's matchup a little bit with the way the Steelers need to pressure him. Look, if he can get the ball into the hands of his rookie neighbors, the Steelers do have trouble with number one and number twos, definitely. So I like Neighbors here, but Jones has got to get it to him. We saw Neighbors make his return, 4 receptions for 41 yards last time. So he could have a big impact in this game, but Jones is going to have to find some protection here in this one and not scramble too much, because I think that's where the problems will lie if he gets itchy feet, if you know what I mean. Now, for Darius Slayton, he has a good matchup. I'm a little bit down on him overall, but he has a decent matchup, but he only had 1 reception in that last game against the Eagles here. So for the Steelers, they're pretty strong on tight ends here. So I look to fade probably Johnson here for the Giants. Let me get your comments. Let's get ready and hear what you have to say tonight in this one with the Steelers and the Giants. Give me a second here. All right, I'm showing handicappers here favoring the Steelers for the most part. Right now, I'd say the ratio probably about 2.5 or maybe even 3-1 insofar as paid handicappers like myself on the Pittsburgh Steelers here tonight. Also on the total, we're kind of seeing mixed action, but would say professional handicappers for the most part are leaning to the under, but problem here is that number has declined dramatically. It opened as high as 41. The general opener was 39-ish. Some of the later opening books came in a little bit lower than that here even. So now we're dealing all the way down to 36.5. Pardon me, guys. Woo! All right. Late action coming in here. Some sharp reverse line move on the Giants. Let's get your plays with this one. Here come the comments. Going to start it off here with going way back with Ray Otachi to start us off, and he's got over in this one at 36.5 as that one starts to go way down. Curtis says, I'll just try him on the money line here. I want to be sure. I want to cash. I think the Steelers win, he says. here on the money line tonight. And then, obviously this money line has gone up as well. Right now we're seeing the Steelers here about 250, 270 at some of the square books. Justin does like Neighbors to go over in his receiving yards. It's probably something that I can probably get behind. He does feel like the target for them tonight. M. Looks talking a little tennis action. Thank you, M. Looks. And, I'm a one-man operation. I'd like to send out a tennis card every night. But even after that weekend, I just had to turn in, gang. And I know you don't mind, but we certainly send out some plays out there in our tennis. Here's Justin. Going to take the Giants tonight. No problem. That line is getting higher here. Daniel Jones here for Justin. Steelers are pretty good at containing running quarterbacks. So we'll see about this one, Justin. I'd throw the caution on that. I'm going to be always, Justin's as good as I am, if not better of a handicapper. I just go to my gut feel every time, no matter what. I know he appreciates that. He's also got Najee over here. I'm neutral on Najee here tonight. And look for also contribution from Jaylen Warren. One thing I'm not hot on is the Giants running game. The Steelers are excellent. Certainly a top 5 rushing defense for me. I don't know if statistically they're there, but in my ratings, I have Steelers run defense at number 4 in the league right now. Thomas says, give me the Steelers and the under. Fernando says, Giants on the money line. Too easy here. He thinks they'll catch the Steelers by surprise here. All right. And let's see here. Any more on the Thomas says the 6 points is too much. How about this one? This one was been pretty popular. Quarterbacks to throw an INT. We were having some fun last night with that one, weren't we? Philly Eagle Flyer, thank you so much. This probably is our soccer coverage here right now with this MLS game between Cincinnati and NYCFC. Cincinnati is a favorite here tonight by a half a goal. The total is 3/15. And Philly Eagle Flyer says, give me Cincinnati money line draw. Is that a double chance there, I think? And the BTTS for $1.37. Also Seattle in the other game. Is that double chance there, I think? Seattle minus $1, minus a half a goal at minus $1.35. A little bit stronger favorite tonight over Houston. All right. Jermaine says he's got the Giants team total to go under here tonight. Robert's going to go over in this one. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer, for clearing that up a little bit. Hope I read that a little bit. You guys, I think we got the gist of the teams. Am I lying? Says, what do you think about Freiermuth tonight? I'm neutral on Freiermuth tonight. I asked the guys last night on the show. I said, does National Tight End Day spill over to Monday night, or is it only on a Sunday? I guess technically it is the 4th Sunday in October is the official National Tight End Day. So I don't know. All right, like this one. Hey, hi, Morgan. Nice to see you today. He says, how about anytime touchdown for STD? This is my favorite, right? The STD. Special teams defense at plus 4.25 here. All right. And Public Enemy on the over here in this one. That looks like it for you guys. I'll give you guys one last shot here in this one to come up with the play here tonight. Look, I don't think the Steelers are a blowout kind of team here right now, but I'm going to try the Giants here in this one. I think when the line was down there in the 4 range, 4.5, maybe that would be Steeler territory. At 6, we're seeing some back doors. look, the 5.5 is still a magical number to a certain extent. I know it's come way back down here now with some of these favorites covering, but I don't know if the Steelers have the blowout potential here, especially if this total is supposed to be right where they're showing it right now, right in that 37 range. So 21-17, could we see a low-scoring game like that? And the Giants cover. 21-14 would be a Steelers cover and a way under. So those are just some examples of the final score here tonight. I guess if you divided it right down the middle, you couldn't do it, but that would be 21-15. That's 36 points. 21-16 would be 37 points and a 5-point spread. So that's what you're looking at here tonight. I'm going to take the G-Men plus the points on that rising line here tonight. I'm not sure about a Steelers blowout here tonight. All right. And Jermaine says, how are they even going to score 17? I think Jermaine's saying they might be under this one. I didn't know if I saw Jermaine. Did you say team total under here? So, yeah, I would say how would you score it? I'd say Malik Neighbors, 2 touchdowns and a field goal by Greg Joseph here. And I will caution you this. I know that field goal props are probably going to be very popular in tonight's game, and Boswell's done a great job. But if you've watched games in Pittsburgh, you know that is the toughest surface to kick field goals on. And as this weather continues to change, we're in the mid-50s here tonight, maybe maybe 56, 57 degrees, it says. That's perfect football weather. But as it gets colder, we've seen more field goals missed here in the last couple of weeks, right? Remember the first 3 weeks? Nobody could miss. But now we're getting colder, not super cold, no problem. Windier here, no wind tonight really to speak of, but that Steelers surface makes it tough too. They like to grow that grass a little bit in Pittsburgh. So, all right, thanks everybody. I think you guys have done a great job in the chat. Those are the 2 big games. Let's get to our daily sports here right now and head over to the NBA. Take a look at the action here tonight with a good card, man. 10, 11 games we got to go through here. We're already over an hour into the show. All right, we're going to get it started off here in the NBA with the Pacers going up against the Magic. Here, the Magic favored by 7. Man, the Magic are the talk of the town, it feels like here to a certain extent right now, the way they're going, man, with Banchero. Hey, if you had to take a shot at MVP after the first 3 games of the season, Banchero might win it. The way he's going right now, he's been terrific. The Magic have been strong here. 2-1 record to start the season so far for the Magic. They did lose to Memphis last game. Remember the first 2 games, they beat Miami impressively on the road. And then they came up and beat Brooklyn for a cover. They're 2-1 against the spread. All 3 games for the Magic have gone over so far this season. I'm showing handicappers already chiming in on the Magic here today. Feels like they might be unanimous so far. The early returns show handicappers, pro handicappers like me, the talking heads, on the Magic so far. For Brooklyn, for the Pacers coming in, let me see here. In this one, I might have lost my spot here. Ended up on the wrong team. Okay, here we go. For the Pacers coming in, they've lost 2 straight here. They've gone under in 2 of their 3 games. They lost to the Sixers last time out, 118, 114 is an 8-point favorite. They also lost to the Knicks by 25 points. It's a 4.5-point dog. They did beat the Pistons to start off the season. Go ahead in the chat. Let's get your plays here in this one with the Pacers and the Magic. I think I'm good to go right now. I'm going to take the Magic. Looks like the line's gone up here a little bit from an opener as low as 5.5, but I don't know who had a shot at that line the way the Magic have been going so far. Circa opened at 6, quickly moved up to 7. The Pacers if anything, they've shown a little bit of vulnerability so far. They haven't looked that sharp. Speaking of teams in Indiana, I just want to pass this one along. You might have seen this, you might have not. Half of the coaches in the WNBA have been fired since the end of the season, but one notable one certainly so far had to be the firing of the Indiana Fever head coach yesterday. Just because it's Indiana, I think it's worth a little bit of discussion. So they will have a new coach. I thought it was a surprise because actually I thought the Fever started terribly, right? With Clark, they didn't look good in those first few games, even with the great player on their team. But once they got it going, they were the most improved team rapidly by far, and worked their way all the way up, the ranks to get a pretty decent playoff spot considering how they started. So just thought that was a little bit interesting that that coach was fired yesterday, and they'll be maybe they could get a higher profile, but that coach had been with the team for quite a while. Okay, here we go, though. We're talking about the Pacers and the Magic. Indiana has won 14 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams, covering 13 of those. Indiana 13-4 ATS here in Orlando. So that's about a 4.5-year sample size here, probably since the end of the pandemic. Indiana gets the win and the cover a lot of times here, but maybe the Magic weren't quite as good as they are now. Let's get your pick. Pacers and the Magic. I'm taking the Magic here. I'm going to lay the points tonight. All right, here's Philly Eagle Flyer here. Let me squeeze this in if I can. Here, a little bit of action here in some soccer. Thank you for that. Yeah, we got some Portugal League here. I did see some sharp action on AVS. We don't cover any Primeira Liga here in Portugal on the show, but I did see AVS actually, I thought was taking some action here, but the steam has been on Porto right now. They went from minus 333 up to minus 385 here. Also, Turkey game mentioned there. They're already underway here in Turkey today, but Besiktas and Galatasaray today. Galatasaray $1.25 here. Here we go. Orlando for Thomas. And Justin said he gave out the Magic last night when it was 5.5. And Elliot says he'll take -7 here with the Magic. I might have went premium if it was really 5.5 or 6, but I think 7's pretty fair. Woo Rizza going under the Pacers team total here. Widely reported steam came in on the over in this game. The total opened mostly around this number and hasn't really moved too much. In fact, maybe a little bit of buyback here. So, but widely reported steam was on the over. And Elliott going to add the under here, it looks like. Nasty Nate's ready to go with the Celtics game here today against the Bucks. And Fernando going with the over here. And how about Hallie to get over 23.5 in this one? Points and assists. There you go. Thank you, Robert. All right, I'm on the Magic. Keep it moving here now with the Wizards and the Hawks. Got the Hawks here favored by 8, maybe 7.5, and a few of the square books here. Could the Wizards actually be a public dog at 0-2 coming into this one? Meanwhile, the Hawks, they're off to a pretty decent start here at 2-1 so far. A new day here for the Hawks, looking good right now. They did lose to OKC last night, so they are on a back-to-back here as they return home. They were on the road last night, and the Thunder looked really good. I'm not going to hold it necessarily against the Hawks. They probably could have had a better effort. I want to pass along some hockey steam right now coming in. Sharps are taking the Carolina Hurricanes, and this line is moving here. Carolina was $1.15. Maybe they're $1.20. They could be headed north of $1.25 right now. Hockey steam coming in with Carolina today on the road at Bank. They're up to $1.30 right now at Bet Online. All right, Wizards and Hawks. I continue on. Here we mentioned the Hawks. Just here's the one thing to note, though. Despite that 2-1 start for the Hawks, they're actually 0-3 against the spread. So could they be overrated here in this game, despite winning games against Brooklyn and Charlotte? Consider the opposition here. They were favored by 7 over Brooklyn. They were favored by 5.5 over Charlotte. I'd probably consider the Wizards a very comparable team to Charlotte and Brooklyn. So can they handle it? Can they cover a big number here like this? It doesn't feel very comfortable here. The Wizards, though, are 0-2 against the spread as well, but they lost to Boston and they lost to Cleveland, both by double digits, although against Cleveland they were just a 9.5 point underdog. Hawks have gone over in all 3 of their games so far this season. All right, let's take a look at what you guys have here, maybe in this one with the Wizards and the Hawks here. I'm going to end up taking the over probably in this one. I know this one's an outrageous number right now at 233, but in fact, I'm showing 234 now at a lot of spots. So let me correct something I said earlier, though, in the Echeverry win over Zhang. It was 6-3, 7-6. I think I said 6-4, but you can lose track of games, man, when you're trying to do the show and watch your tennis bets come in. So I didn't give out any plays, but we've had some bets, no doubt. Okay, Wizards and Hawks. Let's get your plays here. Thank you, guys, so far. So Hawks 0-2 against the spread. Obviously, they're 0-3 against the spread. Give me your plays here if you want. This isn't the greatest matchup as here, but Curtis is on Atlanta money line. Elliott says, give me the Hawks here and lay it. Thomas is on the Hawks. Jermaine says, how about we take Trae Young over, Poole over in his 3s, I think, here. And Thomas said, Thomas says a consensus play here on the Hawks. I couldn't convince you guys with those comparisons. The Wizards, played tougher teams. The Hawks played some bad teams at home and couldn't cover numbers. Markel, hi Markel. He's going to take a money line here with the Wizards. Jermaine says it might be too many points. Fernando's going to lay it. And let's see what else. I think that's it for this ugly game. So let's move on. I don't call the Hawks ugly yet. They're doing okay here. Money, 2-1. All right, continue on here with the Pistons taking on the Heat here on the road. The Pistons are an underdog here by 8 points right now. In fact, we better move this one up. It's 9. It's pretty much 9 everywhere. I say now there's some 8.5. I'd say the Square Online books are hanging on here at 8.5. A total 219, maybe 2. Now I think we should move this one up too. Oops. Sorry, gang. Graphics man's having some problems. 220 here, it feels like now, with the Pistons and the Heat. In fact, some widely reported steam came in on this game just as I was coming in, or coming on the air here. The Pistons and the Heat took some steam here just as I was coming on. So you got the Pistons here already 0-3 so far this season, with losses so far against Boston, against Cleveland, against Indiana, all decent teams for sure. I think you could put the Heat in that category here. How about the Heat unveiling the statue yesterday of Dwayne Wade in his famous pose, his championship pose? The problem was he ended up looking more like Myles Garrett dressed as the Terminator, walking into the stadium there yesterday, because of the most of the people on social media panning the statue. Dwayne Wade didn't seem to mind the statue, but it just didn't look quite like Dwayne Wade. That's what people were saying if you checked it out. So, he's got that pose he did on one of the Heat's championships. But here, the Heat favored here by 9. Let me kind of get back to it here with you guys. Well, I thought I heard some action here, but we'll just keep it rolling. All right. For the Heat coming in, they are so far 1-1 record. They beat Charlotte, won and covered 114-106 last time out. They lost that game, obviously, to Orlando here to start the season. For the Heat in this one, they certainly have good matchups here for sure. For Bam, I would think, against Jalen Duren, good matchup. Butler, good matchup against probably Hardaway, and Tyler Hero, probably a good matchup for him against Ivy. I would think the Heat might be able to put up some numbers here. Rozier, going to be a tough one against Cunningham, and vice versa with Cunningham. And also Hardaway, good matchup for him. He's not really going to be a big-time offensive producer, I would think, in this game. So, all right, go ahead, chat. Let's see what you want to do in this one, if anything, between Detroit and Miami. Detroit has covered 5 straight times here against the Heat on the road. For Miami, they have won the last 5 meetings, but Detroit 9-2 against the spread the last 11 meetings with the Miami Heat. Although Miami's won 5 of the last 6 here, I'm showing handicappers so far 3-1 margin on the Pistons. I'm going to take these points with the Detroit Pistons on the road. Let's get your comments. And we're going to start off with Nunya. I hope it's this game here, first half under. Let's see. Oh, no, that's got to be the Wizards game, right? Or I don't know if I have that right. Sorry about that, Nunya. I don't want to get it wrong there. But I don't think it's this game, right? That's got to be the Wizards game with that big first half total, I think. Okay, here's Trae Young over here on another one. I guess I'm a little bit behind you guys. Look through it here and find it. Thank you to Hugh Janice here today. Thomas, we're going to take a vacation, man. You and me, we're going to find a vacation. Want to pass along right now some breaking NFL steam. I'll leave Curtis's comments up there real quick. Just want to let me get my NFL sheet from behind the curtain here and take a look at it because I'm showing right here, right now, some steam. Detroit and Green Bay under 48. Steam is rolling in right now. It's the featured game next week in the afternoon window. Detroit at Green Bay. Total moving under here right now. It was 48 or so, but we could be heading to 47 despite the Lions that 50 burger yesterday. Total moving under right now with Detroit and Green Bay next Sunday. Curtis will take Miami here on the money line. And I don't know where we're going, Thomas. Well, maybe it'll be in Vegas. I don't know. Maybe I'll come to you, my friend. Justin and I will be together here in this one, the Pistons. Elliot says Heat and over. Butler going over here. And I don't know if it's a pick, but I got to say it. Detroit basketball. Give me the Pistons, says Markel. AOD talking to his Pistons. They need to get a win here. And I guess that's it for the game with the Pistons and the Heat for you guys. I'll take the Pistons here tonight. All right, Nuggets on the road here against the Raptors. The Nuggets are a 9-point favorite here in this one. And, well, the Raptors have not looked the part here so far. They've looked quite crummy. They do have a win, though, coming in, 1-2 record. Remember, they won the game just a couple of games back. They lost last time out to Minnesota, 112-101. They did cover the spread in that game as a 15-point favorite. For the Nuggets coming in, they are so far. What's going on? Nuggets 0-2 losses against the Clippers. We had the Clippers, or let's see, I'm thinking of yesterday, but Clippers, they got that money against the Nuggets at home, 109-104. The Clippers won it. But I told you, the Clippers really playing with some enthusiasm here, looking pretty good. to start the season. How about the LA teams? They also lost to OKC 102-87 in that funky game, scoring just 87 points in the season opener. So let's see if you got some plays here in this one. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and Toronto has covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams coming in. Toronto probably got a good matchup here for Scotty Barnes for sure, I would think. Also, Hodel, whatever's going on with Jokic, he does not look interested here at this point. I know my friend Kelly's been making fun of me a little bit, saying I just keep saying how the Nuggets don't look interested here at this point. And then I tried to bet them one of the games, I think. So, but maybe the saying that I had off the cuff holds true, because so far they do reflect the play here of Nikola Jokic. Now, I think he is a man who knows how to pace himself here, but still want to get a win. Now, the Raptors do have a bit of an injury report here. I'm still showing this total, by the way, on this game. Definitely the board is lit up here, but it's only gone up a half a point. So RJ Barrett still questionable here. Quickly is doubtful here for this one. Olynyk is out as well for Toronto. Okay, chat, go ahead. Let's hear from you right now in this one. Denver's first road game here of the season. Maybe they could be a team that, maybe on the road they'll get away from it a little bit. All right. Thank you very much, Nine Legacy, for your support. As always, you've been there for me for a while here now, so appreciate it. Hey, I don't mind the haters, right? They told me if you got some haters, that that's a good thing. Jermaine's on the Pistons here. Curtis says, give me Denver money line. I know I'm talking Pistons there on that other game, but I want to get Jermaine's pick in there. Markel says the Nuggets need the win. Calling them like Andy Reid, those Nuggies. And let's see here. Markel wants to go. Nuggets full game. He'll take Jamal there. Yeah, Nine Legacy, thank you. I do got a little technical issue here that we're going to alleviate here in a couple of days. So thank you for bearing with me here. Raptors might cover, says Nine Legacy. And Justin's on the Nuggets here. And here's a prop on Gordon. Here's Thompson, R. Thompson, Nuggets under. Thank you, my friend. Thank you always for your support as well. Even the haters love me. That's the great thing, right? And I don't mind this. I actually don't mind this. I would say here that I would be on, I'd be on Dick. We're going to have some fun with Grady, aren't we? All right. Nuggets first half here for Irish King. I think that's it from you guys. You got one last chance here to make the call here with the Nuggets and the Raptors. Like I said, the Raptors, maybe they haven't looked good, but at 9 points, I'm going to have to grab them here at home. The Nuggets winning this game will probably be good enough here, although I guess they're due for a confident victory, and maybe on the road is where they will get it. I will mention Toronto at home. They went over in both their home games so far. When they went on the road, they went under. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll take the points at home with Toronto here. And yeah, give me that dick. I hope they don't make a viral video out of that. Markel. All right. Big one here, kind of, right? The Bucks and the Celtics. Where do you stand on the Bucks here at this point, coming in right now with a 1-2 start? Could they be headed for mediocrity here? Is Giannis, is the time up here in Milwaukee? They did get a win finally here after opening the season with a couple of losses. They were able to beat Philly. Well, they beat Philly, remember, for the win, but then they lost here to Brooklyn last night in a stunner. 115 to 112. Not looking good there for the Bucks, and now they're on a back-to-back. The feel would be it was a look ahead here to go up against the Bucks. That's what it feels like, right? Maybe a look-ahead situation since they threw in a big-time clunker. Remember, the Bucks have covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in this series. So let's get your plays here. Boston coming in now 3-0, 2-1 against the spread here so far. Both teams have gone over in 2 of their 3 games so far. Boston coming off a 124-118 win over the Pistons. They couldn't cover the double digits there, but they covered double digits on the road at Washington. At home against the Knicks, Boston won big time, 132-109 as a 6-point favorite in that season opening game, right? But the key there is the Knicks have turned it around a little bit and have started to look good. All right, let's get your play here with Boston and Milwaukee. In this one tonight, I certainly am going to be big on Brown, Jaylen Brown. I'm also going to be big on Derek White and also Drew Holiday for sure. For the Bucks, I have big question marks here in this one to make their props for Giannis. Also for Taurean Prince. He's not much of a big time contributor, but I think it could be a tough one for those guys. Still a big number here for the Bucks. I'm going to go over in this one. The widely reported steam came in on the over here, and well, it might be down to 232. The total's actually dropped a couple of points in this one. Let's get your comments here in this one. With Nasty Nate says, all that dick talk cost us 8 viewers. Well, all right. I guess we could get him back if we start talking some other, other things. If you see any AI videos of me, on the internet, looking well endowed, it's not AI. It's true. It's real. All right, here we go. Too many points, says Thomas. He'll take the Bucks. Markel's not in front of the Celtics. Am I lying? Thank you so much. Am I lying? Thank you. Am I lying? All right, here's Celtics right here. Oh, we're at the game here with Nate finally. Celtics, second quarter and first half. Elliot says Celtics all day. Thomas says, I'm interested in the Bucks injuries coming in. Just Chris Middleton for sure here. And remember, we're not going to be mentioning Thomas here from the. He gets a gloss over here a little bit because he is out indefinitely. So mentioned it a couple times. He probably will not get mentioned in too many injury reports of me. Same thing for KP with Boston. He's out indefinitely as well. Sam Hauser's the only guy that has a questionable tag in this game. Fernando going over here with me. And Jermaine's got some action here. Boston team total over. Tatum over. Brown's point total over. Here's Bob McCormick on the over. And see, here's Celtics to cover today. Says 9 Legacy. Art Tops likes the Bucks game to go over. Public Enemy has a playback on the Nuggets game. I'm definitely going to include that. Even though we're beyond that. Public Enemy, thank you. Thomas says, I'll try the Celtics here. Lay these big points. All right, thank you, chat. Let's continue on here with another great one here. The Cavaliers taking on the Knicks here. And yeah, for me, what it looks like here, right? The Knicks, after that first game, bounced back big time and looked quite good. Or the first game, they looked good. I don't know why I keep messing up here a little bit. All these sports going on, the sports equinox. The Knicks looked pretty good here, right, in that game against Indiana, 123-98 as a 4.5-point favorite. They lost, of course, the aforementioned game against Boston. For Cleveland coming in right now, they are looking terrific so far with this start to the season. 3-0 against the spread so far for the Cavaliers, man. They feel like they're going to be doing it again this year. Nobody's going to be hopping aboard the bandwagon, yet the Cavs will be right there at the end because of the great defense, certainly, that they play. I will say the widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. This one, though, has dropped from an opener as I say dropped, but only at the sharp book. This one opened 220.5 at Bet Online, 221.5 at a lot of shops. Some came in a little bit higher, but mostly 223 right now. I better update it. 223.5 here for the Cavs and the Knicks in this one. Let's see if we got you guys here from the chat. I do want to mention another NFL Steam move here while you guys type in maybe you're playing this one. And it's on an interesting matchup. It's next Sunday night, where we've seen Sunday night games. Yesterday went over, but Sunday night games have gone under in 6 of the 8 Sunday night games so far. And we are seeing steam to the under. Jacksonville and Philadelphia. It was 47 for the total in that game, but right now we are seeing this total move here. I'm sorry about that, because I haven't actually updated my times yet. This game was actually flexed out last week. Jaguars and Eagles, or maybe 2 weeks ago. Jaguars and Eagles. This is now a 1 o'clock start, West Coast time, 4:05 on the East Coast. Still, total moving under here, down to 45 at the sharp books. It was as high as I said, 47. We're seeing a 2-point move here already. Jaguars and Eagles down to 45 here next week. By the way, the game that has been moved to Sunday night is Colts Vikings. So another 7-point spread, but obviously those teams a little bit better right now. Jacksonville, you lost your Sunday night spot by being so terrible, but you got those Sunday morning games. So, all right, gang, let's see what you got here right now with the Cavs and the Knicks. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under, and also 5 straight meetings in New York between these two teams have gone under. Not much, it looks like, from you guys here in this one, so I'll just pop them up. Thomas says, give me Cleveland. Fernando says, the Knicks. The Knicks have been owning these guys here. And Knicks did win 107-98 last March. A meeting in November was won by Cleveland in New York, but before that, it was a lot of Knicks victories for sure. Here's our Tomps on the Knicks. Here's Robert McCormick on the Knicks. And Nine Legacy says, Knickerbocker, please. For me, take the Knicks, says Nine Legacy. All right, gang, I'll pivot here a little bit, and I'm going to fade that steam. I'm going under here in this one with the Cavs and the Knicks. Not seeing many unders from me here today, obviously, as I got burned a little bit yesterday taking my unders, so I'll calm down a little bit with my unders. All right, not much from you guys on a Cavs-Knicks game. Maybe you guys are running out of steam here right now yourselves. Let's go with the Rockets and the Spurs in this one. With the Rockets on the road, coming in 1-2. The Spurs come in 1-1 in this one. You've got for the Spurs are coming in off of that win over Houston just a couple of nights ago, 109-106. Spurs got the win. They got the money. I'm going to yawn here in a second. Following that game against Dallas, 120 to 109, they lost that one. These two teams did meet also in the preseason. Houston won that one at Houston, 129 to 107. I only mentioned many preseason games, but these two teams did meet up. Remember talking about that one here a little bit. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. You see right now the total on screen at 220, but I think we can update it here. Mostly 219, it feels like right now. And the Rockets here are favored by 2. Maybe a little bit of juice actually starting to come in on the Rockets in this one. Let's go ahead and get your picks here. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. The Spurs have taken the money in 5 of the last 6 meetings here in San Antonio between these two teams and as division rivals. That's just over the last season and a half or so. So let's see what you guys have with Houston and San Antonio. So far, it's going to be a tough matchup for San Antonio, man. Houston looks interesting defensively. I'm going to rank if what I'm seeing here is Houston. To me, I feel like they're going to be one of the most improved teams defensively. Now I know that they have a long way to go, but so far they've got league MVP Alperen Sengun. I say it half kidding. Right? He did struggle in that game against the Spurs, though, last time. So be interesting to see if he can get a bounce back here on the road. He had the terrific season opening game with 25 points and 18 rebounds. And, we know Sengun does play a pretty good brand of defense. And, matched up against Wemby, I don't know if I like that matchup necessarily for Wemby, but we'll see what Sengun has to do. He got paid last week, and he came out like a man who got paid, didn't he? I'm on the over here in this one with the Rockets and the Spurs. Jermaine doesn't like CP3. Look, I think this is the right spot for CP3. I don't know if this game is the right spot for CP3. I bet Fred's going to have a pretty big game here against CP3. Let's take a look at some plays here from you guys. If you got any, let's see. Spurs money line for Curtis. And Jermaine says, I got to take the Spurs here. We already saw the Rockets lose to Dallas by 11 on the road. Robert McCormick says, give me the Spurs. AOD says he's got Wemby big time here. I can't see it. AOD, come in here and please tell me tomorrow that, you were on him. I'll try to remember. But, again, I think against Sengun, I think it is a bit of a difficult matchup here for Wemby. I don't mind the spot for the Spurs. In fact, here we go. It's a consensus play, says Thomas. So, okay, I'm okay with that. I'll take the over as my play. Like I said, I'm going to fade that steam a little bit here. So we'll see. We're still waiting for the debut of Steven Adams. I don't think it is going to be yet in this one. Supposed to be getting close here for the Rockets. All right, and let's see here. And also, Trey Jones, he wasn't able to make last game. Okay, I guess that's it from you guys a little bit. Let's see here. AOD on CP3's assist here. And Rockets here for 9 legacy. And Jermaine says, good matchup here. I don't know. I think I don't know if I like the matchup here. Fernando says go under here in this one. Okay. Thanks, gang. Appreciate it. Let's move on. Got to get it rolling here. We're almost at the top of the hour, so we got to wrap up this show. I am starting to get a little bit I thought I had a good long sleep. I don't know. Everybody makes fun of me a little bit for the no sleep factor. I will say this, that I don't say, hey, look at me, the attention whore that I am. But on Friday nights, I do not. During football season, I do not sleep. I sleep all day, kind of on Fridays. After the show, that window until put the plays in, get the picks out, and then I pull an all-nighter on Saturdays for college football and my local high school coverage, which takes several hours as well. So then I try to catch up on sleep, and maybe I'm feeling still a little winded. Hey, here's some college football steam, though, to pass along with my San Diego State Aztecs. This is going to be a big one this week. We're big underdogs, so I'm sure they'll get smashed. But they're playing Boise here on Friday night on the blue turf, and the steam is coming in on the under. They're taking under here. I'm probably all about this under, quite frankly, with Boise and San Diego State. They're going under here. It's probably going to go to 55.5 or lower. It feels like. It was 57.5. It actually started to move higher, I think. Let me try to track it down here. It opened for the most part 55.5 at circa and started to move higher. Most of the books opened it here at 57.5, and now we're seeing it move lower here, 56.5 pretty much everywhere. Circa is now down to 56 as that steam comes under here with San Diego State at Boise. All right. And just a tennis final coming in. Ponchette needed 3 games to come back and defeat Wang. Here's another steam move coming in right now. Just moments ago in NBA basketball here, a game we're going to get to momentarily, but I want to pass this along. Lakers Suns, steam came in over 227.5 here right now, and I'm showing this one up to 228, maybe even 228.5 here at a couple of books, including the Stations Casino right down the street here from me, where I like to go hang out a little bit at the Green Valley Casino here. Okay, Bulls and Grizzlies. The Grizzlies here a 7.5 point. The Grizzlies here a 6.5 point favorite now. The move has been on the Bulls. I think there's some optimism here in Bulls camp right now after they, 1-2 start. Not great, but I thought they looked good in their win against Milwaukee on the road. They did get beat up by Oklahoma City by 19 points. 114-85. They also lost at the Pelicans. For Memphis, they come in here right now with a 2-1 record, 1-0 against the spread in their home game, as they were able to beat Orlando 124-111 in an impressive victory. Memphis looked pretty decent here so far right now, and should be a pretty awesome matchup here for Desmond Bane. But the news here in this game is the availability of Ja Morant. He is listed on the injury report, and the report here is not great with a thigh injury. Right now, I think the situation is very questionable for Morant with a thigh injury. He did have that same injury against Orlando. He obviously played well. He had 16 points and 10 assists. So I don't know. I think it might be much ado about nothing. Maybe the move on Chicago is because of his injury status. He is definitely listed as questionable right now in this game. So we'll see. But look, I mean, if he's not in there, don't look now, but Scottie Pippen Jr. has looked pretty decent in his time. The Grizzlies definitely have more injuries here than the Bulls coming in. In fact, the Bulls have pretty much a clean injury report coming in. But for the Memphis Grizzlies, Cam Spencer's out. of this game. That's probably the most notable. Konkar is going to be questionable here in this one with Morant. Okay, let's see what your plays are in this one between these two teams coming in, and let's see what you got. Not much from the chat, but we have Bull under here for Thomas. A couple plays from back here. I think this was probably under for Fernando in the Spurs game, maybe. Also Public Enemy went with the Spurs. Fernando wants the under here in this one. Robert's on the Bulls here in this one. And look what Fernando says. This one could be moving lower here right now in this game between the Bulls and the Grizzlies. And I agree with that here, Fernando, for sure. In fact, I'll update it because I'm showing here right now as low as 232.5, Fernando says. So I think we should update this one. That's a pretty big move. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the move. I want to take maybe a further look at it here. I'm going to take the Grizzlies here in this one. I'm going to lay the points against the Bulls. I'm optimistic that the Bulls can be a little bit better this season, but I think here right now I'm going to take the Grizzlies. The Bulls already playing their third road game of the season, and the Grizzlies are 1-0 against the spread at home. All right, that's going to do it for that one. Jazz and the Mavericks. Here you got the double-digit favorite here for the Mavericks, favored by 11.5. The total's dropped here to 232. I'll update that for sure. There we go. All right, the Mavericks here. Let me preempt this. I got a little more NFL steam. I thought we'd get college steam, but I know you don't mind a little NFL action here, no matter when it comes in. So far, here is another steam move right now. The Chicago Bears coming off that loss to Milwaukee against the Arizona Cardinals. The steam is rolling in on the over here in this one with the Bears and the Cardinals. It was 43.5 or so. And right now we're showing that move to the over. I'm showing this one now at 44.5, juice to the over here at Bet Online. Bears, Cardinals, steam to the over right now here on the Morning Steam. All right, Jazz and Mavericks as we continue on here. The Mavericks 11.5, total down here at a 232 or so in this one. Dallas has beaten Utah in 5 straight meetings here in Salt Lake City. Coming into this one for the Jazz, they are 0-2 coming in. Another bad start here to the season for the Jazz. We'll see if they can get anything going here. They did earn a push in the season opener at home against Memphis as a 2-point dog, but then they got blown out at Golden State. Now, I want to add here real quick, just because it comes to mind. They lost that game by 39 points as a 6.5-point underdog. But I just want to mention here, we were watching last night, Steph Curry did leave the game with a turned ankle. He might need to miss a game with this turned ankle. His left ankle, once again, the bad ankle. So Curry just keeps stepping wrong here, and that ankle has some instability, and he needed to leave the game, limp off the court last night in the matchup with the Clippers. Clippers were looking pretty good there all the way, I thought. But they were able to continue on for the win there as a big 10-point dog last night. All right, gang, what do you got? Bulls here against the Grizzlies. Here, I would think a pretty good matchup for if Morant makes the lineup. I have a feeling he might here, but he should be in line for a pretty strong game, especially against Josh Giddey. I figure also maybe Marcus Smart, too, could dominate the boards against Kobe White here. I don't like the matchup for Giddey or White here necessarily. I already said I like the Grizzlies here in this one. So go ahead, tell me what you have here in the chat, if anything. Just a couple of comments here with Public Enemy. Well, he liked the Bulls game here to go under, and Robert McCormick will go over. 9 Legacy on the Bulls. Oh, I'm on the wrong game. Why did I get confused there on that? Did I give out my pick, you guys, on the Bulls and Grizzlies here? Let me get back to it. Did I go out of order? I'm sorry, you guys. Like I said, maybe I'm getting a little tired here. Hope we got this one right. I'm on the Grizzlies here. I think I did say it right. Grizzlies minus 6.5 here against the Bulls. Sorry, gang. Let me continue on, though, with the Jazz and the Mavericks. I was talking about the personnel, and I'm ready to move on here a little bit with the Mavericks and the Jazz. Unless you guys have another pick on the Bulls and the Grizzlies, I'll come back here. AOD talking to Kobe White. Okay, because we got to get through it, man. I'm feeling a little bit winded. Okay, Mavericks here, 11.5. Total, 232 in this one. Luka, big-time matchup. Kyrie, big-time matchup against George and against Colin Sexton here, I would figure, in this one. Klay Thompson looked terrific here, but I don't know if you got Lauri Markkanen following you around, draping all over you, it might be a little bit tougher in this one against the Utah Star. Look tonight for Utah. I would look to play Taylor Hendricks on some of the props here if you're looking for a little Utah Jazz action. I know he disappointed a little bit in the Golden State game, but he did look great against Memphis with 12 points and 5 rebounds for Hendricks. You don't expect a lot out of him. He's probably the least productive player in the starting lineup, but if there is some props available, I like Hendricks here in this one. Walker Kessler, probably a tough matchup against Gafford here. And on the injury front, there is a little bit to report here. Johnny Chusang out for Utah. Isaiah Collier out as well. Maxi Kleber has a questionable tag for Dallas with a hamstring injury. We've got some college football steam coming in right now. It's a game that I've already mentioned the total on. So two-way play here with some steam. Texas A&M mentioned that game against South Carolina, but right now I'm showing some steam here coming in right now on Texas A&M currently. I think this one that was minus, oh boy, I might have to look this one up. I might have to just move on, but showing Texas A&M here now up to 2.5, up to 3 here against South Carolina. Man, I'll tell you what, I already liked A&M to roll. A&M's starting to look pretty good. They're on the road here. I get that, but man, I think I might have them by a touchdown in this one. That one could be headed for a strong play here this week. Don't hold me to it just yet. I'm just looking at my ratings and my notes, but obviously going to have to make a decision here a little bit on A&M. All right, I see some comments rolling in. What do we got? Some spammers in the chat? All right, here we go. Dallas here taking on the Mavs. Mavs come in 1-1, as I said. Utah 0-2 so far. Dallas here with the win over the Spurs, covering that 8.5 points at home. Let's get your comments. I need to move on and get this show going. So I feel like I lost my train of thought on that game. Here's over for Robert. Here's Justin. He likes Gafford here in this one. I'm a little bit neutral on Gafford here, but I like him defensively for sure against Walker Kessler. Ray wants the Mavs team total over. Sancho's ready to go to get his plays in. Thank you, Sancho. Thomas likes Texas A&M maybe in that game. Philly Eagle Flyers got a little soccer for us. So, all right, gang, that's it for the Bills. The Bulls. Oh, I got to make my play. on the Jazz and the Mavs. I've got the under here in this one. I've already missed out on a couple of points. The move's obviously on the under here at 232. Lakers and Suns in this one. We've already just mentioned just moments ago that widely reported steam that came in here in this game between the Lakers and the Suns. What can you say? You know, the Lakers, they were off to some pretty bad starts in years past. They finally got off to a good start. What do they have this year? They have J.J. Redick here. Maybe he might be the solution a little bit for these Lakers. The Lakers, I thought they announced their players that were going to stay behind here with the South Bay Lakers in the G League. I don't think I saw Bronny's name on that list. I think he's making the trip here to Phoenix. Let me just get a quick steamer in here on some action. Toledo and Eastern Michigan here. Remember when the MAC used to play on Tuesday nights? Not anymore, man. They're too big for that. Toledo and Eastern Michigan steam to the over here this Saturday. And I'm showing this one was going over here right now at, was 52.5. It's probably 53 or 53.5 now. Toledo and Eastern Michigan game total moving over here right now. All right, let's continue on here with the Lakers and the Suns. Reported that steam that came in, certainly. On the over here in this one, I would have to figure Lakers got a good matchup probably for Austin Reeves in his matchup with Booker. For the Suns, I think they've got a good matchups here for sure. For KD against LeBron for the most part, maybe. Also maybe against Hachimura might be in there on him a little bit. We'll see. I know Christian Wood still going to be out, not ready to come back yet. Vanderbilt, not ready to come back yet for the Lakers. So maybe a little bit of shifting of personnel. I saw that list here. The injury report for Phoenix does have Bradley Beal on it. So let me take a look at that. I think he left the last game, I want to say here. He did not even play in that game, and he had two pretty good performances here so far to start the season. So we'll see here what you guys have. This one on NBA TV tonight. Lakers and Suns. The Lakers 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. This is their first road game here in Phoenix, even though right now, coming into this game so far with a record of just 2-1. They're 1-2 against the spread. They did cover in their home game, however, against Dallas, 114-112, as a 3.5-point dog. And for some reason, I was on Dallas that night. So these two teams have already met once, 123-116. Lakers got that win as a 1.5-point favorite just 3 days ago. Let's get your pick on this one, Lakers and Suns tonight. Both teams 2-1 to the over so far. Thomas is on the Lakers. Ray Otachi says Suns money line. Jermaine says, thank you, Jermaine. Yeah, that makes sense then why I saw what I did. And Sancho talking about Christian Wood. The guy hasn't played in forever. Lakers were counting on him. Joe Alvarado says go under. Robert McCormick likes the Lakers and Public Enemy. Back on that other game, though, he said take Mavs. First quarter money line. Thanks, PE. Let's go one more here right now. Last game, NBA, 11 games. We just did it, folks. Portland and the Kings here in this one. And got the Kings coming in, looking more like the Sofa Kings at this point. But a 12.5-point favorite for this team so far that are 0-2 against the spread. Portland, they've covered 2 of their 3 games despite a 1-2 record so far. The Kings went over in both of their games so far this season. A 131-127 loss to the Lakers last time out on the road as a 1-point dog. They also lost to Minnesota at home. 117-115 is a 1-point dog. For the Blazers are coming in off the win last night over Portland. Big upset. 127 over the Pelicans, 127-103. They were able to get the win yesterday as a 6.5-point dog. So a good job here by Portland to get that first win. They also covered in the other game against New Orleans. This is one of those games that they played 2 games in 3 nights in the same city. Portland lost that one, 105-103. I'm practically falling asleep here, gang. That's a 6.5-point dog in that one. So I got to grab the Blazers in this one. 12.5 points. Maybe this is the one. Maybe the Kings will get a blowout. The Kings are obviously 12.5 points better than a basketball team. That seems hard to believe, right? Kings have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two, including 4 of the last 5 meetings here in Sacramento. Total's gone over in 4 of the 6 games between these two teams. Who do you have? What do you have tonight between Portland here and the Kings? I've got a strong matchup here for De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan. Tough matchup here for Keegan Murray. Also tough matchup for Simons. Tough matchup for Ayton. Tough matchup for Kamara. Put your play in while I report to you another NFL move coming in right now. The Rams and the Seahawks. We're seeing this total move right now under in the Rams versus the Seahawks. I'm showing a move here. This is an afternoon tilt, and it was 48.5 or so between the Rams and the Seahawks. But right now, I'm showing this one down to 46.5 here currently at Circa. So possibly about a 2-point move so far off the general openers between the Rams and the Seahawks. Seahawks, it is a pick'em right now, or maybe the Seahawks are actually favored by a point or so in that one. Total moving under. Trailblazers and Kings. Here we go. Public Enemy was on the Lakers, by the way. Jermaine says they'll crush them. Joe Alvarado says take the points here. Jermaine says Kings team total over. Kings here. Sabonis with his rebounds prop here tonight. I'm neutral on Sabonis. 9 Legacy says Suns to cover. Blazers to cover. And good morning to Twisted. That is it for the NBA. Thank you, everybody. We've got 8 games to go in the National Hockey League. We've been here 2 hours. We got to step on it here. Got to pass along some breaking news here right now. Not worthy of the banner necessarily because we just touched on it a moment ago, but I can see here right now, looking at my X feed, that Curry is going to be listed right now. They're changing his status to doubtful for tomorrow's game against the New Orleans Pelicans. So Curry here going to be doubtful when we see that line for that game come out. We do know Warriors at home in that game against the Pelicans, but possibly no Curry here, doubtful with that ankle injury. All right, let's go to hockey here. Man, we got to step on it. Thank you, Thomas. 2 consensus plays here in the NBA. Hawks and Spurs. All right, we got a roll here. Let's start with the Oilers and the Blue Jackets in this one. You've got Edmonton, a huge favorite here for the Oilers. I guess they've fixed everything here right now with all their talent coming into this one, and now they're ready to finally get rolling here. They have been getting it back together, no doubt. But Columbus here, I don't know. I might want to consider them at this price here, at least maybe on the puck line here in this one with Edmonton favored. Their Oilers are 4-4-1, but just 2-7-1 or 7 on the puck line so far. Edmonton's gone under in 6 of their 9 games so far this season. Meanwhile, the Blue Jackets, they're 3-3. They're practically an underdog every time out. They're 6-1 on the puck line so far this season. You know, I got to take Columbus here. The widely reported steam came in on Edmonton. They're all the way up now to 2. Well, I say up. They're actually about 230 here, maybe 250 at the square books. I'll leave it at 250 here, but they took some steam here for this game. But I got to take the Blue Jackets, man. They're playing pretty hard. They've gone over in 5 of their 7 games so far this season. So, all right, what do you have here, if anything, with the Oilers taking on the Blue Jackets tonight here in Columbus, Ohio? And we have... Okay, Jermaine, no problem. Probably not on the screen, just listening. So, yes, we can do that for you. In fact, I'll call up the goalie computer just to make sure there hasn't been any changes. We actually have seen a couple of confirmations here, I think, on a couple of these games. Let's see what we got here in this one. So both goalies are confirmed here in this game. In fact, I've got to update my Blue Jackets goalie here because you've got Elvis in the building tonight with Merzlikins here for the Jackets in this one. And Skinner for the Oilers here. So I'm taking the Blue Jackets here plus the puck line. Merzlikins so far 0-2. He hasn't played here really since the first couple of nights of the season. 0-2 with a 3.65 goals against, just an 85% save percentage so far. So we'll see here in this one what happens with Merzlikins. Of course, Merzlikins pretty weak last year as well. So we'll see. For Skinner, he comes in with a 2-3-1 record of 3.05 goals against. Does have a shutout here so far this season, and it was for Skinner almost a 90% save percentage here so far. And man, the stock market looks like they're ready for a big day, huh? All right, I think we got a few plays out of you guys there. Robert was on the under, and I'll take the Blue Jackets on the puck line. Let's go fast. Panthers and Sabres here. Panthers $1.55 on the road. Shout out Buffalo here is what it kind of feels like to. Shout out Buffalo is what it kind of feels like here. So I know they lost 2 in a row, but they got off to that pretty good start here now with 3 consecutive wins after those 2 losses here to start the season. Right now, Buffalo comes in 4-1 overall, but wins over Detroit, win over Dallas, win over Chicago. Here to a little bit of a winning streak for the Goat Heads in this one. You got Luukkonen in here. He is likely the starter in this one for the Sabres. Possibly Bobrovsky here for the Panthers at $1.55. I'm showing handicappers are ready to take the plunge here, possibly on the Sabres coming into this one. Florida's won 10 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams. Pardon me, gang. I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm going under here. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. There's no doubt so far Florida's been a big-time over team. They're 5-1 to the over as a favorite, 4-2 to the over on the road. But I will note this, Buffalo 2-0 to the over on the road so far. Their 1 under did come at home. So I'm going to take the under here in this one with Florida and Buffalo. Looks like nothing from you guys here on this one. Well, maybe I'm going a little fast here right now. Predators and Lightning. I'll take the Lightning here at $1.35. This looks like the most heavily picked game by industry handicappers here, as Tampa Bay has dominated this series, winning 6 of the last 7 meetings at home against the Predators. Nashville comes in right now with a record currently of 3-5. Tampa Bay 5-3 for the most part. Yes, there we go. Predators are just 2-6 so far on the puck line. Predators also have gone 0-2 to the under on the road so far. I'll take the Lightning here in this one. Doesn't look like I have too much from you guys on hockey here so far, so I'll keep it going. The show's long. Maple Leafs and Jets in this one. I'm taking an under here. I know these games have been going over, fam. I know that the NHL is hot right now on these goals here, but I've got to try another under here in this one with Toronto and Winnipeg. Toronto has won 5 straight meetings against Winnipeg, and 9 of the last 11 trips here into Winnipeg have been won by the Toronto Maple Leafs. So let me know what you're going to do here, if anything, on this one with Toronto coming in here with a 3-game losing streak currently. They lost to Columbus, lost to St. Louis, lost to Boston. Winnipeg comes in red hot. Hottest team in the league here, I guess, the Winnipeg Jets. Right now, 8-0. Still just 4-4 on the puck line, and this is still a tough game here at a pick, but does feel like we're in a tightly contested game, obviously, with a near pick'em here in this one. But the Leafs, like I said, have dominated here for sure. All right. Maybe we got a pick from you guys to help me out. Here's the Jets from Robert. I'm on the under here in this one. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer. He's catching up with a bunch of picks. Oilers money line, Panthers money line, Predators money line. Thank you to PEF. Blackhawks and Avalanche coming in here. The Avalanche, a favorite. They look pretty decent last night. Great job by the Avalanche. So watch them come home with the win over the Senators yesterday. We had the Avalanche yesterday as a premium pick. I know they didn't get it done with just a 5-4 win, as Ottawa kept fighting back to pick up the game. But we did give out the winner on the total here on the morning steam. I mentioned we didn't have all winners yesterday, but that was one of them here on the show. Blackhawks come in just 2-6-1 so far, but 4-5 on the puck line. Avalanche 5-4, just 2-7 on the puck line here thus far, and with this big number, and the Avalanche certainly not covering even against some of the worst teams. It feels like here right now. Colorado beat Seattle only 3-2 on the road. They did beat the Sharks on the road 4-1, but only beat Anaheim at home 4-3. We know Anaheim looks to be a little bit improved. These two teams have gone under in 5 straight meetings, and 4 out of the last 5 here in Colorado have gone under here. So I don't know. Feels like the Blackhawks might be able to take a puck line here in this one. I'm going to take the under, however, at 6.5 here. Let's see. 6.5, slightly juiced to the under. If anything, this move is certainly on the Blackhawks right now. I'm not going to update it because I still see 230 at stations, but the sharp books have moved here. Bet Online is down to 211. If you like a discount on a big favorite, this might be your team right here. Colorado down to 210 today. Was as high as 235 or so. A couple more comments from the chat. Here's Jets first period here from Eagle Flyer. All right, Sharks and Utah in this one. The Sharks on the road. Going to be a big underdog here against Utah Hockey Club. In fact, Hockey Club, about 270 here. 255 maybe at the sharper books, and the total here is 6. Slightly juiced to the over here right now. 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams at the Utah franchise has gone over in this series. I mentioned that because this is the former Arizona Cardinals now playing their games in Utah. That might hold you back from going too much into that trend because it's not at Arizona, but the franchise is the same. The Sharks are struggling here, 0-7-2 right now this season. Utah 4-4-1 here so far. Both these teams have been a pretty solid under this season. You got the Sharks 3-5-1 to the under. Meanwhile, Utah 1-3 to the under at home. But I will mention this: Utah mentioned, of course, the series itself, right? And Utah as a favorite 2-1 to the over. I've got the over here in this one with San Jose and Utah over 6 goals. We're almost done with the show, fam. Philly Eagle Flyer leading into the Avalanche first period, and BTTS as well in the first period going over 1.5. Panthers and Canucks here tonight. I've showed the steam coming in here on Carolina. As we talked about it here on the show, right? It was one of the early steam moves while we were on the air here. But get this, Vancouver has won 13 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams in Vancouver. And it's not like Vancouver was off the hook, over the last 5, 6, 7 years. In fact, this is probably about as good as they've been, right? Meanwhile, we know Carolina's been a pretty solid franchise for the last several years, but they've still had problems here when coming into Carolina. Now, they have covered, Vancouver is 7-1 on the puck line against Carolina in their last 8 games overall. I got to take Vancouver here. I'm going to fade that steam, actually. Give me the Canucks here tonight. One last game is going to be the Flames and the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are favored by $1.35 against the red-hot Calgary Flames coming in. Now, the Flames have lost 2 in a row here after that great start, so maybe they're coming back down to earth here a little bit, but Vegas still a pretty big number here at $1.90, and I did let down. Let me go over. I did let down on those goalies a little bit. Sorry about that. Let's see. Fernando started the Panthers facing the Sabres. Did I have the graphic wrong? Is that why we messed? No, we had it right. I was supposed to read the goalies off here a little bit, so let me just do that real quick. I've screwed up the show royally, no doubt. So Toronto and Hellebuck was possibly Woll and Hellebuck here for Toronto and Winnipeg. For Nashville and for Tampa Bay, it is Vasilevsky for sure, possibly Sarish. Sharks and Utah, possibly Blackwood and Ingram. Also Panthers. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, there it is. That was just a typo there on that Panthers. I should have been Hurricanes. That's because, I still have that when the seasons overlap, right? The Hurricanes, Carolina, and Carolina Hurricanes and Carolina Panthers football. You know what I mean. So let me fix that, and that's where I'll leave off. Not to mention, I think I'm falling asleep. Okay, Hurricanes, Kashetkov, and possibly Lankinen was the matchup there in that last game. Okay, I think I read them all up. I hope I didn't screw that up too bad. Typo, yeah, thank you. Thanks, you guys. Okay, last one here with the Flames, and I'm showing for the Flames that I'm expecting Vladar in there possibly against Aiden Hill here in this one. The Knights are looking hot, no doubt about it here with a 3-game winning streak at this point. Calgary's played well, but they have lost 2 in a row here right now. I will say this, Calgary's covered the puck line in 5 straight games here in Vegas, and 6-1 last 7 against Vegas. I'll try the Flames here on the puck line today, plus a goal and a half at minus about $1.40-ish or so here. No, $1.65 or so. I'll still take them. I think I'm committed there. I said it. Widely reported steam did come in on the over here in this one. We know Vegas has been a big time over here thus far. Vegas is covering the puck line out of control here right now, no doubt about it. And let me see here. Vegas 7-1-1 to the over thus far, 5-1 to the over at home. Calgary's shading a little bit under on the road, just 1-2, but these Vegas games are going over big time here right now. The morning steam is over. Nearly 2.5 hours of action here in this one. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6. Let's do this. Let's quiet it down. The notes are all in. We're going to turn the noise off in the background here. I don't need the computer to tell you to join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific for another edition of the Morning Steam for the action on Tuesday. We're going to have the World Series. We'll have College Football Tuesday, as well as NBA and NHL. I can even take a look at those schedules tomorrow and see how we're looking for the NHL. 7 games tomorrow in the NHL right there. And what do we got in the NBA tomorrow? We've got 5. It looks like here 4 games tomorrow in the NHL. So we'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you join Mikey Money today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. He'll preview all the action tonight. I imagine even Mikey might go 75 minutes tonight with tonight's heavy card. And make sure you check him out here on the Sports Money channel. Make sure like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. And make sure you check out all of our programming here on the Sports Money Network. Don't forget, fam, you can check me out today over at Winnable to get my premium pick selections. Hopefully, we just gave you a bunch of more winners than we did yesterday on the show. But to get my best plays, get them over at winnable.com. Get it right there like I did on my phone. You see it there with how to order the packages. It's got Apple Pay, Google Pay, and my picks are just 67 cents a day if you get 1 month for $20. And man, I give out like 5 or 10 plays a day. So it's about a nickel, 10 cents a play maybe. So, hey, it's really just my opinion. You can play them all. You can play them none. Just see what I'm on or just roll with me. I'm a high volume handicapper. Sometimes it pays off. I think we had a pretty good weekend, especially in college football. I think the subscribers, we tailed off at the end on Saturday, but I think of any subscribers in the chat, maybe can vouch for the college football picks and the NFL picks. Pretty good weekend here. They say transparency is key. You got to keep track of the play. I don't keep track, but all the plays are there. You can go, I don't switch them or anything. You can't do that when you got over 100 subscribers. So you can go through and look at all the picks there on the Winnable app as well. You can scroll down and find all the previous selections over there. You can have the plays text to your phone. You can put the notifications on. It's really a great solution for me. And this solution is why I was able to feel like I could, I don't want to say it like, I left a 45,000 subscriber channel and a website from one of the biggest names in the business to come over here with Sports Money Network and change the way I do business. I used to charge $25, $35, $45 for a package. I used to charge, $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 for a year's worth of plays. You can get a year's worth of plays from me right now for $99 over at winnable.com because I just want to get you my info. Look, how are we going to go viral? How are we ever going to make it to the big time here if we're only giving out our plays to a bunch of whale players that need to, look, that was good business over there at that other channel. Okay, I know that, but you're really only dealing to, if I had some sales there, it was to people who are playing, 200, 300, 500 a game. You might be playing 100 a game. I might be playing 100 a game. I play high volume. So really I go quarter, half, full, right? That's my strategy a little bit. And then I sprinkle all over with, plays all over the props and everything. But those plays were for, high players there, a little bit high end players, right? I'm not saying that this isn't a distinguished group. You guys might be playing high as well, but the average player, they're starting to show right now, especially with the proliferation of the betting. The average play is $100. So how are you going to spend upwards of $15-20 a play and be able to see a profit? I'd have to hit 70%. I don't hit 70%, fam. You got to be realistic about this. Remember, 52.38% is always going to be a break-even point for minus 110 plays. So if we can do a little bit better than that, then I think it's going to be worth your time to invest 67 cents a day with me. Please consider subscribing to my picks over at Winnable. It supports me here on the channel, coming back every day. Ramon, you're so good. Why don't you just bet plays? I don't have any friends. You guys are the closest thing to friends I've got. So I'm going to come here every day, do the show, click on the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. It'll take you right to my picture, and it'll be right there on your phone. So check me out over at winnable.com, and you can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off that 67 cents per day. So we'll get it down there to about 50 cents a day here. Really think of it as your subscription plan to this show. So I keep coming back. If I don't show up, remember, alert the authorities. Something has happened. But when you go over to Winnable, it's going to look so good on your phone here. I'm still back on my iPhone 10. Now that I had to buy a new computer, I don't know if I can get my iPhone 16 unless we win some plays or in case you subscribe. But there it is right now to get that weekly rate right now at $8. How about that? Get a week's worth of plays right through next Monday for $8. You can use Google Pay. You can use Apple Pay right there. And then you end up doing the little double click or whatever your method of payment is. Powered by Stripe. Totally legitimate payment processing, one of the biggest in the world, right, with Stripe. So, it's all secured. It's not like, there's no Venmo, there's no PayPal, there's no Cash App. Sure, if you want to send those, I'll send them to you. I'll figure out a way to get you the plays. But this is about as easy as it comes, and you can set the notifications to receive the plays on your phone. I think that's really the key there to getting it, is being able to get those notifications. So I appreciate everybody here. We had a great show. We got up to about, it looked like a low volume here today, but we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat as well. Our Tomps, we will, but we got to get those plays out too. The late plays are going to come in there probably noon, 3, 4 Eastern time, noon, 1 Pacific. But yeah, I might take a little resty poo here. Thank you, Fernando. Thomas, thank you for everything. Joseph, that's what I'm talking about, right? Look, I want to guarantee my plays, but we're not going to do that for 67 cents, right? What are we going to do? Send money back and forth. Capper, helping Capper. And the way I help you is to come on the show, whether I get these things right or not. We're doling out a bunch of information. I'm half asleep, but I'm reading off all the stuff that I can get my hands on here a little bit and make it in a fun, concise format. Hopefully you enjoy listening to my dulcet tones here on the show. So, Bob, thank you very much. The college football certainly was pretty strong here. We tailed off at the end, I know, at the night, but thank you so much, everybody. We'll catch you here tomorrow with more Morning Steam. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long. See you tomorrow. Also, catch me tomorrow here. Is that okay? Thanks.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the motherfucking